and welcome to Daytime, presented by California Closets. Let's all just be happy. That's the message that we are getting across with our first guest today. Maggie is off, but you're still in for a treat as we begin with the man behind St. Pete's Community Happiness Project. What started as inviting yard decorations to spread some positivity with his neighbors has become a shift in lifestyle that he hopes others will adapt. There's even a newly released book about it called The Blueprint to Happy. And the man behind it all joins us now with a smile on his face. Welcome, Adam Peters. How are you?
Thank you so much, Farron, for having me. I am wonderful. Thank you.
I am so excited to talk to you because you are a happiness ambassador, but I've learned that you haven't always been this way. So what caused the shift, and why is it that now you want to spread this message?
Do you remember that first COVID summer, Farron?
Oof, do I ever? Yeah.
I, like so many people, was sent home to work from home, and I found myself in a place where I was asking tough questions. Folks my age were not making it through COVID, and I had to sit myself down and ask, was I happy with how I was living my life? And the answer was no. It was a very strong no. But what that led me to was the next step. So once you decide that for yourself, what do you do about it? And I decided that the cynical way that I was looking at the world was not working, and it was time to try something different.
So what are some of the practical things that you outline in your book, The Blueprint to Happy, for people?
The blueprint is all about building a preference for positivity. So as a evolutionary holdover, we tend to have what's called a negativity bias. There's actually a word for it. And that's because we've survived so long by paying attention to dangerous things in our spaces. And it's proper, if there is danger, to be negative and narrow your focus. But in a world where there's so much coming at us all at once, from all over the world, it can be easy to have our focus narrowed all of the time. We don't get to see the opportunities around us. Positivity does the opposite. It actually expands our ability to see what is around us, the resources we have to work with, and it opens us up to new possibilities. So the blueprint is about building that preference for positivity, and at the core, it's about teaching yourself how to tell yourself a better story about whatever is happening to you and around you that has three essential components. It's got to be positive, it's got to be actionable, it's got to be reality-based.
Wow, I like that. Positive, what were the other two?
Actionable.
Actionable.
And reality-based.
And reality-based. And you've put that all together in a very tangible way with the Community Happiness Project.
Yes.
So tell me about that for those that aren't in St. Pete, that aren't in your community, to see what you've done.
Sure. I hope we can put up an image of it, because it's really a very visual medium, and intentionally so. I wanted to delight my neighbors, because I noticed that folks would cut through my corner yard walking their dogs. There was really nothing there, and I had just learned about how incredible positivity can impact our life, how much it can improve our lives. And so I decided to build some very colorful things, put out some very colorful chairs, invite people into my space. It started little by little as I ideated and took inspiration from my inner child. So I thought, what would little Adam like tooling around town? I grew up in Gulfport, Florida, and it's a very funky little town. And so I grew up seeing like these really cool mailboxes, like dolphins and full replicas of houses. And I was always fascinated by those as a kid, and I thought, what would be fun and exciting for people when they round my corner to see? And dog walkers. I put out dog toys and painted rocks for people to take home, and I asked them to pause when they see them and reflect on things that make them happy, because the Community Happiness Project, as it is in my front yard, is very elaborate, but it boils down to one essential component. How do we get more positivity in people's lives so they start to build a preference for looking for the positive instead of the negative?
And by putting more of that positivity out for strangers, for anyone in the neighborhood, I can only imagine how much you have also received in return from that.
It is so incredible, Farron. When I first moved into my house 12 years ago, I barely knew any of my neighbors, and that went on for about a decade. I wasn't really connected, And COVID helped me realize how disconnected I really was. I got to take the time to pause and reflect on that. But I know so many neighbors now. In fact, we just had a book tour launch party in my backyard last Sunday on Cinco de Mayo, and I had at least 30 folks join me in celebration. Many of them were neighbors. Many of my neighbors chipped in to help grill out food, to bring different dishes, to bring chairs so there was enough people, enough room to sit. And so not only that, I have a read a love note, write a love note book in our curiosities cabinet, and I've read how impactful the space is to people. They sit and they take a moment to say, I feel so peaceful here. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I love this. I have people that visit from out of town, the snowbirds that come to Florida and rent in our neighborhood, say that they're just visiting, but they love this, and
You've created more happiness ambassadors, is what it sounds like.
That is the hope and the dream, is to plant seeds of happiness.
Well, keep it up. We love what you're doing. We hope that it spreads. Adam Peters, we appreciate having you here today. His book, Blueprint to Happy, is available in bookstores today.